Well, this is now your chance to go ahead and type in another question. Loving all the questions we're getting for you guys. I'm going to bring out to the red carpet Janaki Chakravarthy. Janaki, come on out here.
Hi, Angela.
Hello. Well, let's tell people your book, From Broke to Breadwinner, a single mom's guide to financial independence and more. Why did you write this book?
I was a single mom in India, and I had to raise my two daughters on my own. I chose the path of getting divorced, and I was petrified at how I was going to make it all happen. But I did it. And so I felt the need to tell other women in such a situation that it is possible. You too can make it. You're not alone. And that's the message.
So, Melody from Prior Lake, Minnesota has written in, and she said she wants to know how did you move from telling your personal story, which is in this book, to delivering your message? So how did you decide your personal story that you want to actually share this?
I think that's a great question, because this was one of the challenges that I had encountered myself. Initially, the book started off with pouring everything from my head and heart into the book. That was the first version. I called it the brain dump.
I remember.
And then, you kept refining it because you want the message. You kind of invoke your servant's heart. It's not about your ego, but it's about how do you serve the purpose of all those single moms. And then your message gets refined. And what comes out in the final version is hopefully a very pure and a useful message.
How do you think that your book would have been different if you did it on your own? Because obviously I worked as your mentor. You worked with our whole team here at the Author Incubator. How do you think your book would have been different?
This book has been on my mind for 2 years and nothing happened, right? And then the angel smiled and Angela appeared on my horizon. And, there's a time-bound schedule that we adhere to. And I think that's one of the greatest success factors that my book had. The other thing is that I was able to get coached along the way. And I overcome all my fears and inhibitions and all kinds of negative things that come up. And then you kind of, you end the book, and here I am, sharing it with you all. It's wonderful.
So one of the things for me working with you is you're extremely coachable. So I would make one suggestion and you would be on it. So I don't have a specific question from someone on this, but I would love your feedback. Why do you think you're so coachable and open to advice and changing? Because I changed your book a lot. And you just, every time I'd make a change, you'd roll with it. So where do you think that comes from?
I think in my journey as a single mom, I had to overcome guilt, things that you thought you knew, all of that. And you just had to be open. And one of those chapters talks about intentional learning. So I had to treat every interaction and every experience as a learning experience. And life is kind of very joyous when you are in that state of mind. And you invite the good things in your life.
So this is the thing, is that so many people who I work with, like, they come to me with a lot of good ideas like you had, and I basically say throw all of them out. And people, like, there's a phrase in writing, killing your darlings, yes, that it can be very painful. And I noticed that you came to this with such a lightness and such joy. And when I would say, like, throw that out, you're like, okay, I'll throw it out. So there's like just this sense of detachment with love that I get from you.
That again is another philosophy that I have talked about in my book. It's called the guardian mom philosophy, where you're not attached to your children as owners of your children, but you are kind of detached and you think it's universal, the universe's children that you have. So I think maybe it's my Indian background, but detachment has always been a part of me as I grew up. And maybe it's the divine way that I got enlightened.
Well, it was, I think, just quite a gift for everybody in the community to see that, and the joy and the sense of play you bring to everything you do. I am excited for you to get your hands on From Broke to Breadwinner, a single mom's guide to financial independence and more. Even if you are not a single mom, I know you will get a lot out of this book and the philosophies in it. Janaki has a very unique voice, and I think it will speak to you in ways that surprise you. But that said, if you know a single mom out there, go ahead and cut and paste the Amazon link. Open up an email, drop that link to them and say, hey, saw this book and I thought it might be a great Christmas present for you. Yes. Reading over the holiday, snuggle up by a fire. I'm going to show you guys the copy of Janaki's book. I'll give that to you. Janaki Chakravarthy, From Broke to Breadwinner. Thank you so much, and thanks for joining me on the red carpet.
Thank you,
look
Angela.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Good job.